with a great mustache.
Yeah,
pretty
I was going to
decent
say
hair.
the salad and the mustache. I didn't want to bring it up just to see if
Big personality,
big
man.
personality,
Like on the
exactly.
ice, big personality.
Yeah.
It seems like, obviously really genuinely excited. And
Well, he's
listen,
a gamer too.
Yeah, he is. He is. And it's interesting. Like the Marner stuff, that's a local guy that's like, I got to get out of here. That became very clear. Like Mitch just was like, I'm out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. And then, Pizzetta's in a different place in his career, clearly different player. But he's like, just get me there if I can. John Tavares is like, what's it going to take? 4.38? Done. I just want to remain a Leaf. So
Steven Lorentz, same thing.
Steven
right?
Lorentz, exactly. Give me a 3-year deal,
Toronto
1.35. I don't want to leave. So there's going to be there's going to be examples both ways. Like the Marner example is significant right now, and people are taking it and running with it. What does it mean? Local guys, media, fans, is it too much? But then there's a lot of examples on the other side of guys that are like, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to be a Leaf, and I want to try to win here.
Well, it's fair. And the one thing is, like you say, Pizzetta chomping to get here and be a Toronto Maple Leaf. Here's a guy who played in we'll call it a loud market as well. I mean, Montreal's a very loud market. So, we were talking about it before the last break. Nikolai Ehlers may be looking for a little softer landing as far as exposure and all of that. There's some guys that go, hey, I have no problem. Pizzetta, I'm coming from Montreal, go to Toronto. Exact same situation. But other guys, maybe their expiration date sounds like Mitch Marner wanted to change. That's Brad Treliving pretty much confirmed it for us.
Yeah.
He goes to Vegas, you move on from it. The DNA, you brought it up to Tree, the word DNA, it is going to change. Just through osmosis. Different players coming in. There's not the, for lack of better words, the baggage that come with these new players. Nicholas Waugh has no idea. Not that he doesn't have no idea, but he comes with no baggage to the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's not tied to 9 years and playoff losses and all of that. This guy's won a cup. He's been in a different organization. So that's your DNA change. Michelli probably wants to be in the playoffs. He hasn't been a playoff guy. So I think you are going to see through osmosis some change here from some of the players coming in. You still have to replace Mitch Marner's points by committee, though. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and that's going to depend on who you can get in that top 6 role, but it's not going to be easy to do, right? Like, it's not like you can just say, here's 100 points, plop it back in. But, to me, this whole DNA thing is interesting because, they are searching for something. It was like they're searching for a different identity, a different kind of approach to big games, to big moments. And I guess there is something too. Like Nick Waugh was talking today to reporters about how, hey, I love the big moment. I've been on a cup team. Now, he's never been the guy on a cup team, but he's performed in, high pressure games and ended up, hoisting the trophy. So the more guys you have like that, I think the better, obviously. And that's not a bad place to start. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that you can really have a change of the DNA if the majority of the core is still here.
Well, that's...
And the top players.
Yes, and that's what... And Treliving kind of... I wouldn't say... he didn't roll back his comment, but he's kind of adjusted the definition of the comment.
A little bit.
Where he did say it's internal. Like, our players need to learn to... And that's where, I think it's frustrating to hear that if you're a Maple Leaf fan, because, Matthew's been here for 9 years. He's just going to flip a switch and be different in Game 7 next time? I don't know. Can John do that? He'll be 35 years old. Is Tavares going to do that? Is Nylander going to do that? Morgan Riley? We don't have the answer to that. And there's nothing they can do. They can't put them in a lab and turn them into something different.
Well, they've tried.
Yeah, they've tried.
Brought in, sports psychologists. The highest paid sports psychologist on the planet was here for a while. I mean, they've had a bunch of different people. He talked about the mentality and the between the ears stuff, right? They've tried to, do that. They've brought him, they put him on the couch, let's say.
Right.
And had their feet up and said, okay, what do you need? Like, what is it about these moments that are difficult for you? And, all these years later, I'm not sure what has changed in between the years for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, the DNA that's who you are.
Yeah, it is.
You can't change that necessarily. No. Like, you can try to insulate it. You can try to help. You can keep poking and prodding. You can hope maturity, continue. Although it's not about maturity. I mean, John Tavares has been in the league for 16 years or whatever. But I don't know. I get Marner's out, and that is very significant.
It is significant.
Like
one
Mitch
less
Marner,
of them. We'll call it one less of the guys that you focused on. It is significant because if it's not, it's 4. Now you're down to 3. And you mentioned John Tavares being 35. It's really, he was on the outside of that, core 4. It was really core 3. Now it's core 2.
Yeah, Austin and
it's Austin and
Nylander.
Willie, and Willie's he's the biggest case study for me. I know for you it's Austin. For me it's Willie, because you even see comments from Craig Berube going, yeah, he's a unique guy, and joking around. Hey, you missed that. I saw Berube on a podcast. I don't know if you saw him talking about Willie and saying, I was teasing him, and he went high glove, and the goalie made the save, and he said, well, you didn't play me enough early in the game. Like joking around. He goes, he's a character. I think Willie needs to continue to grow his game in a sense how it translates to the playoffs. Austin, throughout the regular season, we see that he can play on this side of the puck. I call Willie more of an opportunist. He wants to stretch. He wants breakaways, all of that. He's going to have to be in the fight. He might have to adjust his game, continue to adjust his game. He might not get 45. Maybe he gets 40 next year, but maybe it's a more rounded 40, if you call it.
Well, that's what we're really talking about.
That's really
is the physicality, going to the dirtiest areas.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. And that's, again, with Mitch Marner, they're going to figure that out in Vegas. He is not, that was a big part of, I think, the reaction to Marner as he developed over the years. This is a white-collar town who's always loved blue-collar players. There is not a further blue-collar player in the league than Mitch Marner. He has...
Right.
There's nothing about his game that's blue collar.
No.
It's not. And that's fine. He's not alone. There's a lot of players like that. But come the playoffs, you got to take a hit. You got to throw a hit. You got to go in the front of the net. You got there's certain things that have to happen. And again, now he's out. Okay, he goes to Vegas, but the same thing's going to apply to Willie for sure, and to Austin and whoever else is here.
Agreed.
All right, Mike Johnson will join us. Darren Dreger will join us. We'll continue to recap what was somewhat of a busy day, but not a crazy day at all. I mean, in the end, a lot of guys, and like Tree Living said, because there was money, a lot of teams just said, I want to keep my guys. I have the money to keep my guys, so I'm going to continue to do that. So we'll get into why that has happened this year, and if maybe this is a sign of what could be happening in free agent frenzies of the future. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.